Everybody breathe with me. Need to breathe, need to breathe, need to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So we got some unpacking to do, y'all. Let's talk about it. Public Enemy did an album that was one of my all-time favorites from them. Oh, I'm sorry. I know my audience is from all over the world and all different generations, so I know my young folk might not know who it is, and my international folk might not know who that is, but Public Enemy was and is, in my opinion, one of the, I repeat, the greatest hip-hop groups of all time. Most important hip-hop group of all time. Somebody say, how you gonna say, what about Wu-Tang? There would not be a Wu-Tang Clan if there were no Public Enemy. That's a fact. But anyway, Public Enemy had an album called Fear of a Black Planet. Fear of a Black Planet. If you ain't never heard the album, go listen to it today from start to finish. Don't do a one track. I know that's the mind state most of y'all in this new generation, and everybody all on their phone with one little song, two little songs, three little songs. Sit through it even if you don't like it. Just sit through it and try and analyze it. Try to understand what you're hearing. You're gonna have to do some real listener comprehension. Big words up in here today. I think we need them considering how last night's election went. And a lot of people need big words. They don't have too many in their vocabulary. Or they don't understand them. They just like to say words. Comprehension, people. Go listen to that. Go listen to that. But the concept of a Fear of a Black Planet, like most of the concepts that Public Enemy dealt with, were actually them giving you edutainment. They would get it from, a multitude of M-U-L-T-I, multi-ethnic, multi-racial, and I said on racial because race doesn't exist, it's a construct. But since it exists in the sense of voting, and we're gonna talk about that too. How it's real funny how everything that's politically incorrect gets thrown out the window on election night, and the press just uses all these words and says things a certain way they never say a certain way until it's election night. Suddenly, nobody's African American anymore. Everybody, the blacks. And when white folks say black like that, I'm always suspect of you. My white folks would just say, yeah, black. It's a black guy, black woman. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. More than likely, you all right. And when they say black, like they choking on it, something what's wrong with you? Why you always gotta say it like that? What you mean black? What's that black shit? What is that? What is that? And I was hearing a lot of that last night. A whole lot of that on the road to 270 with all this commentating. They set it up like a damn NFL game. And if you look here, you can see all the red coming in, but wait a minute, blues, look at a little bit of blue here. Now if you think back to the year and what happened, if you look at the statistical values of our quarterback when it was such and such, okay, he was throwing touchdowns, all right, in that state. He was winning, all right, he was killing it. But lo and behold, his running game wasn't as strong. So, hey, we all know what happened in that Super Bowl, all right? We all know what happened and who got elected, all right? Yeah, that's how I felt last night. Looking at that, but oh my gosh, how much times and for strange reasons. We are where we are. We here. We in it now. We are in it. And it's Fear of a Black Planet. Fear of a Black Planet. Now, black, white, brown, yellow, red, all these are terms that Europeans created to define the rest of humanity. And it was not, and it never was, even to this day, it was not all Europeans that thought this way. Those who got on the train, so to speak, on the boat, so to speak, of colonization mentality and imperial control of resources worldwide, that's the mentality that came up with the constructs of race. Race does not technically, scientifically exists. So that's critical race theory. That's exactly what we're trying to get away from. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to deal with that. That's why we voted this man back in, because they don't want to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it. You created it. You created it. You created it. It's here. You're going to deal with the reason. Boy, you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to deal with the fallout of your actions. You're going to deal with the circumstances of your own hatred, your own societies based on hatred, your own societies based on false narratives, your own societies based on lacks of inclusion, lacks plural, just lacking, refusals, gatekeeping, destruction, terror, mayhem, all of the shit that you seem to love so much because you made it Americana. You made it part of the culture. It's in all the movies, it's in all the music, it's in all the everyday life. America was born out of prison-minded people, convicts, and criminals from European cultures, in addition to others who came who had nothing to do with that, who just said, oh, it's okay, coast is clear, y'all already did all the damage, well, it might be a better situation over there, so we'll come now that you've settled it. You know, when they call them settlers, you know, after they settled it, after who settled it? After the imperialists came in and destroyed, raped and pillaged, enslaved, created economies based on the slavery. Now, we invite all those from our different cultures, Spain, England, Portugal, France, Belgium, you know, anybody of European descent, and you know that's where your people came from, you're not all at fault. But if you're in denial about why you're even here in the first place, and that's not to say everybody came in that first wave. That's not to say everybody came on that same mentality of the first colonists. There were different periods. I know history. There were different periods of American history. There were different eras of American history. There were different time periods and reasons people came here. Much later, after all of that, and after it's beyond settlement, now you just got established, governed cities and a so-called nation. So-called, why I say so-called? Because you built it off of a lie. And you've always known it was a lie. And to keep that lie in place, you've held certain people back forever and ever and ever and ever. To keep that lie in place, you've told people you're different. You're not like them. You can't. You might be in it. You know. Okay. We got two sides here. We got conservative and liberal. And if you want to conserve these values and all that, then you're good with us. Just know your place. Just don't try to do everything with us, but we'll let you do some things with us. Which is why some of y'all who bit the bullshit, who share in the top 1%ers money, feel like you're privileged. You literally think, I'm talking about the blacks, the Latinos, the Asians who voted for what is now back in office. You really believe you're part of their game. You really do. They convince you. They got you. They got you. You're sitting outside the big house on the steps, or you're in the kitchen fixing up the food, or you're coming over saying hors d'oeuvre, drink, madame. But you're in the house, so you feel like you're important because you know you in the house. You ain't out in the field. You ain't like the others. So you think you something special. This is the psychotic behavior that came out of slavery, that has gotten retranslated into new forms in modern society. Yes, indeed it has. Fear is a choice. Danger is real, but fear is a choice. I choose not to fear, because in fear you make stupid decisions, like a lot of people made on election day all the way back to early voting, when they had a choice, and instead of making a choice for peace and yes, not perfection, make it clear. There has never been Never, I don't care who was the president, in the history of what was called the United States of America. See, they got a big problem with constantly reinventing the same. This is Hitler 2.0. Other people have said it, I'm not the first. Don't go, oh my gosh, ban his channel, he's too woke, he's woke, he's woke. Oh, I'm woke like, because the third eye don't sleep. Y'all gotta understand, the temperature is extremely unpredictable and tense right now. And even though some folks are celebratory, some folks are bewildered, and some folks are just straight up upset. You know, I don't want to see violence. I don't want to see violence. I'm tired of seeing violence. I'm tired of seeing displays of hatred. I'm tired of seeing people being disruptive and unorthodox and just completely unethical and savage and being proud of it. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. But guess what? There's a lot of angry people right now. And they're not just being analytical. They're not going to be, they don't have the means to be analytical like myself and others who will take this blow, get up, look at their resources and say, well, how can I still maintain, and how can I survive this next 4 years, and how can I make sure my family survives this next 4 years, and how can I provide for myself and make the best out of the worst situation that's ahead. There are those who are not thinking like that. On both sides still. Because even those who have won are still angry that there were people who would vote against it. They really wanted to just see a total, they don't want to see almost 50-50. They wanted to see an outright, we completely control this thing, and they're not going to even be satisfied. And it's going to give more momentum to this red cap lie. Red cap. Yeah, as the kids say, cap, straight up cap, all cap. Big ass lie. Yeah. The worst, most disturbing thing about all of it is to know that I heard one statistic that broke it down that basically said 1 out of every 5 black men in America voted for Trump. Voted for the orange clown. Wow. 1 out of every 5 is what I saw something. I hear people saying, and it cracks me up when they love to say this, and I say to myself, how many of you mofos even play chess? It's chestnut checkers, it's chestnut checkers. You can't make these decisions emotionally. You gotta be thinking about the whole thing. You gotta protect your money. How many of those folks saying that even play chess? I play chess. It's ironic that recently I got in a groove and started playing regular again, okay? And I've been posting my wins, which ain't been all wins, because you're gonna win some, lose some. I've been losing a lot actually, because I'm playing against the whole world on this app that I use. But I've been posting those here for some of our content, Busting Pixels, gaming content, check it out. You see the skills I got. I ain't saying I'm no chess master, but I ain't nobody to play with. That's for damn sure. But you know what? It cracks me up. People thinking they understand the chess mind state. No, you don't. Because if you understood some of the basic principles of being a successful chess player, you learn, first and foremost, each piece can only move a certain way. That's the first thing that I'm gonna use all this for metaphor to make a point here. Every piece on the chessboard can only move a certain way. You can't move a queen like you move a knight. Matter of fact, no other piece on the whole board moves like the knight but the knight. I always say if you lose your queen, well, hell, if you got a bishop and a rook, you can still do some queen shit. Because put those two together and you got a queen in the way she moves. But, you know, for people who really don't play, who just like to say something that they heard sounds real slick and cool and like they're real sophisticated, but they're not. it pisses me off because you can see it in their actions when people start making bad decisions. And as somebody who has made bad decisions on a chessboard myself, I understand that the only reason I ever make a bad decision, and this is why I have to watch myself because we're all human. As much as I'm an AT alien, shout out to Atlanta. Y'all stood the ground, y'all represented. And that ain't to say Atlanta itself ain't got plenty of backwards ass situations. A ton of them. All kind of critical issues steady pending. But that's not because of one mayor or one individual or one neighborhood or one. That's a lot of different mentalities. And the key thing here is mental. There's a lot of mental illness beyond clinical illness. I'm talking about people who simply don't make good decisions in life but expect different results and are not understanding whether you know how to play chess or not, you're still on the chessboard. So know what kind of piece you are. And if you are just a pawn, everybody's ego's in, so if they do know anything about chess and they know, oh, that's the weakest, that's just the foot soldiers. Pawns are some of the most lethal pieces on the entire board if you know how to use them right. And obviously, for this person to get back in office a second time, he knew how to use some pawns. Damn, he knew how to use some pawns. He done pawned y'all out. He done pawned y'all out. He done put you in the pawn store. Yeah, you for sale for like $2 and don't even know it yet. If you are Latin, and just because you're Mexican and not Puerto Rican, so you didn't take no offense when the comedian made the joke about made the joke about Puerto Rico calling it a floating island of trash. You son of a... The audacity of that. He better, man. Well, never mind. About to say something I shouldn't say. Oh my. All I know is there's places some comedians just can't go. That's all I can say about that. Anyway, but if you were Mexican or you're Dominican or you're anything other than Puerto Rican, but you're Latino, you consider yourself Latino, and you heard that joke and you still voted in the red, it's muy mal. Malo. Social media is the worst and best thing that could ever happen. Because there's nothing that people won't say out loud. Just like, hey, I'm here expressing myself, they expressing themselves too. But the difference is, I'm going to let you know, if you don't agree with me, I don't need you on my channel. I don't want you on my channel. I don't need you on my channel. Don't try to troll my channel because all I do is block on my channel. I don't do no damn timeouts, and I do not tolerate nonsense. Versus some of these folk, they all about volume, and like they say, it's all about their money. So they'll have a whole bunch of trolls and everything and be happy with it because, hey, man, that's how I get my money, man. I don't care. You can troll me all day. I don't need to stress the mental. See, something's real interesting. When I see people who say and do stuff like that, it tells me something about your mental. It tells me you're okay with being stressed. You're okay with thinking the worst can never happen to you. You're okay with not nipping bad behavior in the bud. As soon as it pops up, you cut the head off of the damn hydra, even if it's gonna grow another head. You got time while it's growing the other head to keep chopping, and maybe one less hydra head is biting your people in the ass while the head is growing back. That's the reality. Until you can get the hydra, if it's the king on the chessboard, in checkmate. Cutting the head off, that's like check. He can't really do nothing until somebody from his team come and throw a block, or they'll kiss Massa's feet, like Kanye West did in that famous interview, talking about, I love you, and you sick. That's when I disowned that. That's when I was done with you, boy. I had sympathy for you losing your mind with the family, and I had sympathy. And I thought he was brilliant, because I love a lot of his music before that era of him. You know, I thought he was making he damn sure got flow to this day. I never take away the talents, because those are universe sent. The vessel, that thing might go any kind of way, but that spirit, that's from the universe. Universe blessed, art life, all day. You know what I'm saying? But it got tainted. The blessing got tainted, and we got the nutball. We got the absolute maniac. We got it interfering with your art now. Others like him, and we are seeing there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of people, man, because hurt people hurt people. And that's the thing Kanye and all them people got in common. They all hurt, including the orange agent himself. Super hurt. Very distraught, very upset, very on a warpath for all the people he feels betrayed him. And that's going to be the worst part, because all y'all who with him, who think it's just about protecting your bag, oh, I'm just trying to protect my money. It's, you know, I'm playing chess. You ain't playing chess. You don't know how the pieces move. And you don't understand you elected him as your king. So now it's your job, and he's going to make it law for it to be your job to protect him. You won't be able to say nothing about him when he disappoints you. You won't be able to say nothing about him when he pisses you off. You won't be able to say nothing. Your freedom of speech is on a clock. It's in an hourglass, dripping sands of time. It's only a matter of seconds per day to January. I'm telling you, you're going to regret every single vote if you are, you know, any kind of conscious. Because you can be crazy and still be awake, you know, and know what's going on, but you just nutty as all hell. But if you that kind of nutty, you're going to have enough sense to say, oh my gosh, what did I do? I can't believe it. Because when you understand that the mentality that created all this racial divide and everything is so simple, and the rules of engagement of how they label people as black and brown, and you're a Latino, and you're a this, and you're a that, and oh, you're the red people, and you're the, guess what? When they do them borders and when they shut stuff down, when you get pulled over and you think, because, man, hey, man, I got that money, man. I'm black, but all I am is really green, because you see this mother. Okay. Let's see if we're going to see people getting pardoned real quick when they get sent to jail, or get better worse yet. Because, you know, some of y'all got so much money, you don't care about going to jail. Man, wait till my lawyers get finished with you. You're going to have to make it to the phone, man. You ain't gonna make it to the phone sometimes when the racist cops in some area who thought you were Puerto Rican and they agree with the philosophy of the comedian, and they want to beat you because they think you're bringing trash to their culture. Oh, they get out the car, on the ground, hands up, pow, pow, pow. Oh, I didn't know he was the executive branch chief of such and such industries, and Can y'all imagine the reports we about to be hearing? I don't want to hear not one word from all y'all who proud of what you did. Not one word.